super excited to be here with you all today, celebrating you all, celebrating Women's History Month, celebrating the ladies. Ladies, make some noise. I love the energy. Yes, my name is Marie David. My name is Marie David. I am a media professional in the New York, New Jersey area. I used to work for Hot 97, WBLS. I worked for the Wendy Williams Show, and today I'm a video editor for Essence Magazine. So today joining me, I have 4 phenomenal women that we're going to be celebrating. They're going to be telling us all about what they've been doing, how they overcame their challenges, and basically you guys get to ask them questions so you can learn a little bit more about them. So without further ado, please give it up for R&B artist Avina Love. Next up, we have entrepreneur Samara Hill. Make some noise, make some noise. Come on, energy, I love it. Next up, we have the founder of Sorority Law Firm. Give it up for Sakana Sorority. We have a promoter and entrepreneur, Audrey Fawcett. Yes, can you guys clap it up for these amazing ladies today? All right, so we're going to get started. So my first question for you ladies, I'm going to pass the mic down, and you can just kind of just tell us what you do, and yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Audrey. I'm a registered nurse. I specialize in trauma and critical care. I have experience in flight, and I also own a vitamin IV hydration company. Good morning. My name is Sakana Sorority. I'm an attorney admitted in New York State. Thank you. I was a court attorney to a family court judge in Staten Island until about 5 months ago when I left to start my own practice. I mainly specialize in family law, so I deal with a lot of custody, visitation, divorce, neglect proceedings, orders of protection, and all that maybe not so fun stuff.
Good morning. How y'all feeling this morning? I need the energy. Hi, I'm Samara Hill. I'm a health and wellness coach. I'm also an entrepreneur. I create social media content for marketing and branding for small businesses, as well as I started my own organic skincare line that originated because my 2-year-old at the time had severe eczema and she's autistic, so I needed something to help her skin. So I designed and went into the kitchen and came up with a formula. Now people buy it worldwide, we ship worldwide.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Vina Love. Hi, everyone. I'm from Harlem, New York. I'm a singer, songwriter, dancer, choreographer. I'm an actress. I'm a writer, director, editor, and I'm CEO of my own record label.
This is like, don't play with these ladies, okay? Don't play with it. I'm so excited. So in honor of Women's History Month, ladies, I want to know about some of the women who have poured into you, who have loved on you, that you want to, give flowers to today. We want to know about these women.
First, I would say my mother, and also a nurse that molded me into the nurse that I am today. Her name is Cindy Carr. She is our supervisor at the ER that I work in, and she just really inspired me to become the nurse that I am today.
I'm gonna follow Audrey with saying my mom, for sure. I'm the daughter of immigrants, and my mom and dad made a lot of sacrifices for me to be here at 29 as an attorney with her own firm. And if it wasn't for them and their sacrifices, I definitely would not be here. My mom is my #1 fan, my #1 supporter. Just this Sunday, we were at an event and people were introducing themselves, and I said, oh yeah, I'm an attorney, I have my own firm. And they were like, oh, do you have a business card on you? And so I'm going to check my bag for a card, and my mom was ready. She pulled out her bag faster than the person finished the sentence. She was like, yes, I do. I actually have a stack past you and everybody behind you. And that's my mom. She's always been there for me and supported me. So without her, I obviously wouldn't be here. So I'm more than happy.
So everybody spoke about their mother, but my mother has made me to be independent, but my grandmother really gave me the values that I have. She also too was an immigrant. She came here from Japan, so I'm part Japanese. But she gave me values, she gave me structure, she gave me discipline, right? And she gave me key things to always love on people. And no matter what you do, as long as you treat people well, you'll get that in return. So there's a lot of women that play a key part in my life, and especially now I have a mentor who I could call her at any time and any day and get advice from her. So shout outs to all the women around the world that pour into their communities, pour into their people, right? I know there's plenty of teachers here who pour into you guys. So, you know.
So for me, I was raised with 10 boys, so I didn't really have a lot of females around me. But my mom and my grandmother raised me, and I'm from the east side of Harlem, for anybody else. And being like a girl out of 10 boys being raised on the east side, you need women in your ear, like, okay, you shouldn't do this, don't go here, don't indulge in that. And being a young woman, being on side, running around with boys, just hearing that, just let me know, like, okay, I can be this kind of person, or I can be this kind of person, or that kind of person. So I had options of who I wanted to be, and if it wasn't for those two women, just always giving me the grace of just doing what I wanted to do and being unapologetic with me. I don't think I would be able to, have the career that I have. So shout out to my mom, she's also my manager. And huge shout out to my grandmother. She raised kids my whole entire life, so it's taught me how to accept people, love people, give care, and just be sympathetic and empathetic to a lot of different things. So shout out to my mom and my grandma.
Yes, I love it. So I want to go back into what you guys have been doing. Did you always know that this is what you wanted to do, a nurse, own your own law firm, be a singer, an entrepreneur? Or if not, just kind of tell us about that journey for you.
I finished high school and did my undergrad in community health at Lehman College in the Bronx, and then I was working on Wall Street at United Healthcare on the business side, and everyone said, you want to grow and grow? I was like, I'm not going back to school. 4 years, I'm done. And then someone convinced me, go take the test. I took the entrance exam, I got in. I did my 2-year program for nursing. I went on and got my bachelor's, and then I continued on and did my MBA as well, and now I'm doing a second master's for my nurse practitioner license as well.
Yes!
I'm not able to tell you that where you start is where you're going to finish, and it's okay if you change your career. You can want to do something today and not want to do it tomorrow. You could be 30 and go back to school, 40 and go back to school. You might not want to go right now, and that's okay. Just follow what you really want to do.
I love that.
So I would say ever since I was little, I had a very big mouth, and I got in trouble a lot for talking too much in school, maybe overstating my opinion one too many times. And so sometimes people would make the comment, you should be a lawyer, you should be a lawyer. And I would say it was a dream from when I was little, and I lost it a little bit when I was actually around your age in high school. And I was like, I don't think, most lawyers that we see in the world don't look like me. They're not, the majority aren't women. They aren't from a minority background. They're not Muslim. There's a lot of things that I am the other in. Even if I don't look like it. So for a little bit, I thought maybe I'll be an interpreter. I speak 3 different languages, why not? I took sign language in college and said maybe this is what I'll do. And then I realized that I wanted to state my opinion and not just translate the facts. And so maybe that wasn't the path for me. And then I said, okay, I'm gonna try this. I took the LSAT, which is the exam to get into law school, 3 times. Yeah, that's how I felt in the moment, exactly. But like Audrey said, don't let where you start be where you finish. It's not an indication. I'm not a fan of standardized exams, clearly. But I was fortunate enough to be able to have a support system around me that gathered around me and let me know that I can do anything I put my mind to. And that's what I did. It took a lot of hard work, a lot of sweat, a lot of tears. And, but I'm very proud of myself for getting this far. So.
For me, I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. Even as a little girl, I would create jewelry and sell it on the corner. And then in high school, you know, when they had those sales things, I always strived to sell the most because I was like, I need to win. But I knew one thing, right? I knew I needed an education because I wanted to get an education because from a little girl also, I knew I wanted to be an accountant because I knew if I was going to be an entrepreneur, I didn't want nobody to steal my money from me. I wanted to know how the money worked. So I did it. I went to school, I graduated high school, I went to college, I graduated from Queens College with my bachelor's in accounting because I said if I'm going to be an entrepreneur, I need to know how this money works, right? I worked 15 years in accounting. I may not look that old, but I worked 15 years in accounting before I took the leap of faith. I said, God, push me to my purpose, right? Because I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I didn't know what it looked like. I just knew that I didn't want to work for somebody else, right? I knew that I had a bigger purpose, and sitting behind a desk and crunching numbers was not me living in my purpose. So I asked God to push me to my purpose. And I asked him that on a Tuesday, and I got fired from the city of New York on a Friday. And the HR manager called me into his office, and he said, you know, I have to deliver some bad news. I said, you just gave me the greatest news of my life. I said, because I asked God to push me to my purpose, and I knew I wasn't going to take that leap of faith by myself, but I knew if he pushed me, I had no choice. And so in 2019, I got fired. In 2020 is when I established the organic skincare line. Like I told you, I made it for my daughter, right? I just used it for her skin. People were asking me what was I doing to heal her skin, and I said, you know, I made this thing. I use it, and they're like, let me get some. And I'm like, okay. I give it to my friends and family. And my mentor, that's who my mentor is now, she said, no, you have to sell this. And I'm like, sell it? Who's going to buy it? People are going to buy it. She posted her social media, power of social media, right? In 1 hour, I had 50 orders, and I'm a Gemini, so if you push me to a challenge, I'm going to stand up and I'm gonna earn up to it, right? I was like, 50 orders? What? I created the batch, right? She posted it again. 200 orders. I said, yo, because you never know what your purpose is until God unveils it to you, right? So from there, the first month I said, I can do this, but I can't do this by myself. You have to help me. You're marketing it. I'm making it. Let's do it together. So we did it together. We formed a LLC. And then the first month we did 10,000 in sales, and I just fell to my feet because I never knew. I never knew that somebody will take something I just made out of passion of love and would want it for themselves. So you never know what you're doing in your life that you love that somebody else is going to pay you for. Okay? So keep on, stay in this school, but walk with your purpose. Be consistent in your craft, be disciplined in your works, and it'll come into fruition for you.
I actually started off as a dancer. I'm classically trained in ballet, jazz, tap, African, everything you can think of. Since I was 2 years old, I did almost every kid school you can think of. And when I got to high school, well, prior to high school, I started doing poetry, which I really, really liked. I didn't really know that I had a voice yet. I guess until Cheetah Girls came out, I'm older than y'all, but I feel like y'all know what Cheetah Girls is. But when Cheetah Girls came out and I started singing all those songs, I was like, okay, like it's a little voice right here. So I started taking my poetry and making songs out of, not recording or anything, but just, playing with myself type stuff. Oops, Jesus Christ, that person. But yeah, so I'm just, experimenting with myself, and then finally when I get into high school, all these things under my belt came about because I didn't like waiting on someone else. I didn't like having to wait for someone else to do something. I didn't like having to wait for someone to edit my video or wait for someone to write a song for me. So I just started learning everything. Like, okay, I know how to do this, I know how to do this. So whenever it was time for a show to come up, I started doing all the shows, all the choreography for all the shows. And then my school got phased out. So all the choreographers left the school, and I was the last one, but I was a sophomore. So I'm trying to control all 4 grades and this dance thing, and then the singing, and then the acting, and all this stuff. I get to my senior year, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I'm completely over this. The same thing I've been doing my whole entire life, I completely gave up on, and I started going to John Jay during my senior year of high school. And it was tough. Like, going to college and high school at the same time, it was tough. And when I graduated, I was like, oh yeah, I don't want to do this either. So I gave up on absolutely everything that I ever knew, and I took a year off from school. And I was 19 at the time. I started working at Olive Garden on 125th Street. And yeah, I actually opened that store. Like at the grand opening, I was there with a bright face. And I remember getting into an argument, like to piggyback off of what she just said. I remember I got a $24 check one week, and I was a person that come to work at 8 in the morning, and I don't leave till 10 at night. So for me to receive a $24 check, it was just like, okay, something's not adding up here. So I did exactly what she did, called on God. What's next? Like, what do I need to do, because this makes no sense? Like, and I quit, like, that same day. Like, I took my break, said a prayer, came back, somebody irritated my soul, and I quit that same day. A year later, on that same day, my song was on the radio in the restaurant. So it was just like, what do you need? The first thing that you ask for. So before I end this off, one of the most hardest and most beautiful things you could ever pray for, I don't know if anybody's religious in here, but I'll say pray for or ask the universe for, is discernment. Discernment will let you know where you need to go. If you don't know what discernment means, Google it. And it's a word to never forget. You need clarity. You need to understand what's going on within yourself and your surroundings to push you to where you need to go. So always ask for discernment and always trust in yourself. And even when you don't feel like you can trust in yourself, just trust in the vibe around you. And just always feed yourself with positive energy and you'll get everything that you need.
I gotta tell you guys, I'm feeling inspired, I'm feeling motivated. Are you guys feeling inspired? I love it, I love it. I want to know about a challenge or a hardship that you were just like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna overcome this. And you really had to tap in deep within yourself and really have faith to overcome that challenge. Take us to that, please.
I'll be honest with y'all, because I feel like I'm only 26, so I feel like I'm, not to put an age on the ladies, I feel like I'm a little closer in age to you guys, so I understand you're still trying to figure out what's really going on. And I'll be very honest with you, every day is a challenge for me. Like, I don't ever have a day where it's just like full really smooth, and I'm just like, oh, yes, everything is working out, everything is perfect. Unrealistic, it doesn't happen that way. It just doesn't. And I think with that being said, before I used to look at it as something that could, just ruin me and ruin my outlook on how I feel about myself. But realistically, it was like, okay, I have these challenges because I'm going for something. So if I'm going for something, I need to make the challenges my friend rather than, be so mad at myself and get discouraged. So if you gotta cry for a little bit, take a couple tears, take a couple deep breaths, and continue to do what it is that you gotta do. So every day is a challenge for me. I think one of my biggest challenges may have had to be, I would say, coming off of a tour. After I did a tour with New Edition, I don't know if you guys know what that is, but after I got off a tour with New Edition, I was really trying to figure out, I just did one of the biggest things in my life. And when I was done, I didn't even get to enjoy it so much because I was thinking about the next thing. Like, okay, what am I going to do next? What's the next song I'm going to put out? What's the next video? And it was such a challenge because I was on such a high, and now I had to figure out what was next. Like, how am I going to have that same feeling again? And it was difficult. And as time went on, I prayed on it, worked towards it. I ended up making the next song that I really, really loved and releasing it. And it was amazing for me. It worked out for me. So,
To piggyback off what she said, life is gonna life you, right? Every day you're gonna wake up. Don't think that you're special, because you're not. Things happen to everybody, right? No, for real. You're not exempt from life and what it's gonna throw at you. The only thing you have to control is how you respond to it, right? So life is gonna life you. If you're dealing with something, turn your pain into purpose. Get a reward from it, right? Because it's gonna happen. Listen. Let me keep it a buck with y'all. Life is going to hit you, and you're going to want to lay down and stay there, but get up. Get up, because life is life you for a reason. Those tests that you're going through, turn it into a testimony so somebody behind you can see what's possible for them. By showing up how you're going to win. Through your win, somebody's going to be rewarded and be like, well, if they did it, I could do it too. So, my biggest challenge was when I got fired. I was like, whoa, now you go from a structure where you have to get up every day at a certain time, you have to be at a place at a certain time, till now you have the whole day. And as an entrepreneur, if you don't build a structure for yourself, that day's gonna go by, and another day's gonna go by, and another day's gonna go by, and then you look back and you're like, well, I didn't accomplish anything, because you didn't build a structure for yourself. Structure is important, right? I know you guys as kids right now, you're like, I want to stay up late, and I want to do all these things. But if you have a structure for yourself right now, in 5 years, you'll be ahead of a lot of people that is probably 10 years older than you. So build a structure for yourself. Don't allow life to hit you and not get back up, because it's going to happen. So I just want you guys to know that your pain, there's a purpose tied to your pain. So always know that no matter what it's looking like right now, the storm is going to come, but there will always be a rainbow. You probably heard this 10,000 times, but I'm a living testimony, because when I had my daughter, I bald right now, right? All my hair fell out as a part of the process, so I shaved it off, right? And then I almost died shortly after. And when you almost come to that point, you start to look at life a lot different. And that's when I started to ask God or the universe, as we in school, stay in school, but religion in school, but you start to ask the universe, what is my purpose? Because you don't want to live every day and wake up and not be happy. Like, happiness is something that's inward. Don't look for it outside. You got to look for it inward. You got to make you happy. You got to know that you got to love on you. Love on you. Don't expect nobody to give you nothing. Work for it. Push through it. Conquer through it. And get some reward for your pain.
So I would say one of my biggest challenges was in 2022 when I was working for a judge. I had a job that many lawyers dream for, and I got it right at the very beginning of my career. I was very grateful And the only reason I got that job was because of all the networking I did as a law student, as a college student, keeping up and networking in my community, which is Staten Island. I know you guys might not consider that a borough, I'm sorry. But having that job and then realizing that this isn't my dream, even though it's other people's dream, and everyone was telling me, oh my God, you're a court attorney, like this is fabulous, how do I get there? I want to do that job. And although I loved it, I knew that my purpose was something else. I didn't fully enjoy my time there. The people were great, the job was great, but I wanted to do something else. And I almost felt bad, like I'm in a really good place that people would kill for this position. And am I not being grateful? Like, did the universe or did God hand me this gift? And am I not being grateful? And I decided, like, listen, I know what I want to do. I want to have my own firm. I want to be my own boss. I want to believe in myself. And so the challenge was turning down this steady paycheck where I got a paycheck from the state of New York every other week. I knew I had a job guaranteed. I wasn't worried about anything. And I took the leap of faith to open my own practice, only being an attorney for 1.5 years at the time, and people would look at me like I'm crazy, like, you know, how are you gonna just go work for yourself? You don't have years of experience. People wait 5, 10 years before opening up their own practice. They go work for big law firms. And so I guess the challenge was believing that I could do it, and trusting the process, and a little bit of closing my eyes and hoping for the best. And so I started in September of 2022, and now it's March. I have over 100 clients, and I'm very grateful. So I would say, even if you're comfortable somewhere, but you want to do something else, trust yourself, believe in yourself. And what I told myself was, okay, the worst that could happen is that I fail. And I'm not immune to failure. I'm human like everybody else. And if I fail, I will get back up and try something else. So that's the important. Failure is inevitable. It will happen to everybody, even the mighty fall. The important part is to get back up.
I would say the biggest challenge is sacrifice, learning that you have to sacrifice the fun now for success later. Does anyone here want to be a nurse later on? Anyone want to go to nursing school? Just know you have to sacrifice no matter what you want to do. You're going to miss parties, you're going to miss family events, but in the end, when you look back, you take that sacrifice and it gets you where you really want to be.
I love it. Make some noise, y'all. And joining us on the stage here, we have DJ Rhea, MC and host. Give it up, give it up, give it up. So really quick, I want to move on to the next question. Today we're celebrating our wins, and I want you guys to reflect on a win. What did that moment feel like for you? How did you celebrate that win?
I would say a big win for me was when I started seeing some athletes and celebrities actually reposting my business page and contacting me for services. I started out just doing friends and family, friends referred by other friends, and then I started getting messages, as you guys know, the little blue check mark on Instagram, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, I just did this. I started during COVID to try to help people at home that didn't want to come into the hospital, and also so I could kind of take a step out of the hospital as well, as we were just burnt out and exhausted. And next thing you know, my inbox was just more and more, and now I have multiple athletes, multiple celebrities, multiple music artists, other lawyers as well, and my clientele has just grown and grown, and I would say that was a huge part of my fitness and my career.
Wait, let me ask you, how did you celebrate this? You guys celebrate out. What did you go out to eat? Did you? I went on vacation. Okay.
I would say one of What was the question? Sorry.
Reflect on the win,
Okay.
and how did you feel?
I was working for an attorney at the time, and it was December 18th, 2020. My phone is blowing up, and I'm assuming it's just group chats, you know, my friends that aren't working that day or working from home. So then I start getting phone calls, and I look, and they're like, the results are out. And I'm like, oh no, this is not what I need on this Wednesday morning at work. And it was just in the office. It was still, you know, high COVID. So it was just me and the male attorney I worked for. And I couldn't wait anymore. So I opened the email on the work computer, and I freeze. I couldn't, as someone who got a degree in reading, could not read past the first line. It said, congratulations, you've passed the New York State Bar exam.
Make some noise.
And immediately, as someone who doesn't normally cry, I burst into tears and could not move. The attorney comes out, he's confused. He's like, Sue, is everything okay? I'm like, ugly crying, very like Kim K, ugly crying. And he's like, what happened? I'm like, the results. And he's like, what, let me see. He comes over and he's like, you passed. I was like, are you sure? Because now I'm second guessing myself. Did I read that correctly? And he's like, yes. And it was just like an overwhelming feeling of joy and like almost disbelief. It took me a while to process. I celebrated by FaceTiming my parents because I couldn't even get in the car to drive home. I was like shaking. It meant a lot, just not only for me, but for my parents who didn't have the opportunity to go to school. Neither of my parents have a high school diploma. They weren't afforded education in their country. And so they poured all of them into me, and I wanted to make sure that all their sacrifices were worth it. And so in one generation, my family went from not even high school degrees to Juris Doctorate degrees in one generation, which is like, it shows that like anything is possible. And so I celebrated just with my friends and family and just giving myself the opportunity to just really relish in it. A couple weeks later, my sister threw me a surprise party, which was really nice. Being a graduate during 2020 when we didn't get to celebrate with family and friends. So yeah, that's how I really rewarded myself and enjoyed just with family and friends.
Beautiful.
So one of my biggest wins came as like I told you guys, I do health and wellness. So I have like over 150 clients, but one client in particular, she came to me. She had been obese her whole life, and she was looking, you know, she wanted to get surgery, but she didn't want to get surgery, so she was looking to lose weight because, like I said, she had been obese her whole life, from a little kid to adult, and so we got together, we put a plan together, and she lost over 100 pounds. From 280 to now 160, she's kept it off for 3 years, and she keeps me updated, like, Coach, I'm here. So I get wins all the time, but that was one of my biggest wins, because it was when I first started doing it. So, you know, you don't have faith when you first start doing it, like, I did it for myself, can I do it for somebody else? And when you do something for somebody else, it makes it that much more greater. So that's one of my biggest wins.
I actually have three that actually go hand in hand. The day LLC, you guys know what an LLC is, right?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, so when you start your business, so I'm gonna put this in like the simplest terms. When you start your business, you need something to solidify that business. You need it to look like it's real and it's a thing, okay? Your taxes, your IEN, and all that stuff. So you get your LLC, right? So the day I received my LLC book for my record label, which is Amore Love Records, my name is Vina Love, but my real name is Davina Amore Love. So to keep, my father didn't have sons, so to keep the love name in the family, I named my label after my last name. So to receive my LLC book and see Amore Love Records across the page, it was just like, we didn't even really do anything yet, but just receiving the book was just like a start of a whole, like, world for me. So that was the first one. Then when I signed a partnership deal with a record label, they weren't just signing me as an artist, they were signing my record label to their record label. So that was like a really big win for me. And then the day I left the label was another really big win for me because I got all that experience, all the music. I was able to own all my masters, own everything that I, came in with and created while I was there. So to leave and have ownership over everything meant everything to me. And to now not have a partner was also a beautiful thing because now it's just me. So it's all my decisions. Anything that happens, anything that goes wrong, it's all on me, but we don't do wrong, so it's good that it's under me. So it was just a beautiful thing, all three things. Getting the label and then signing to someone and then leaving and now being by myself. So every day is a win for me because I wake up and I breathe and my mom is there and everything is happy. So again, it's a win, guys.
Speaking of a win is a win. What's up, y'all? I'm DJ Rhea. I'm also an MC. I'm a host. I do a bunch of different things. But shout out to the amazing women on the stage. But to me, listen, a win is a win every day you wake up. Every day you wake up. Every day you breathe. Every day you thank God, and it is what it is. Like, to me, that's a win. But I'm a former athlete, so I grew up playing basketball. I played in Harlem, Rucker Park, on 4th Street. I'm a hooper. So I love, goals and challenges. So I apply the same thing the way I work within my sport, within life. So yeah, we got to win the next day. We have a goal. We set that. Once we get that, I'm not satisfied. I'm hungry. I want another one. I want another one. I want another one. DJ Khaled, come on, say another one, right? So I'm never satisfied in that sense. I don't like to be complacent. So I hope that you guys don't want to ever be complacent in life, because I always say, does time stop? No. So why should we? So I think that you should always be planning. You should always be on your grind. You should always be thinking of the next steps. Because once again, does time stop? No. So why should we? We should always be planning and putting everything. And Miss Love over here, just to add to y'all, I didn't find out till I was in my 30s, LLC. All of you can start a job right now. You got $250. You guys can have your jobs right now. You guys can start your own career. Literally, I'm like, why didn't nobody tell me this in college? How to start or high school, how to start an LLC. You guys can have your own business. You could be a digital creator, content, whatever you guys want to do. Eyelashes, nails, girls, ladies, sneaker club, whatever y'all want to do, fellas. But you guys can start your own LLC, look it up, have your own business. You can write off everything, okay? I'm telling you right now, okay? I take an Uber here, I'm writing this off today. So I just want you guys, there's ways to get out, but nobody ever put me on and taught me certain stuff. So take that with you if you guys want to start your own business, LLC. She just reminded me that, but every day is a win. Every day you wake up.
Yes, a win is a win. The time is going by so fast, I can't believe we're like almost an hour in. So I have to cut back on the questions, but I have one last question for you guys. And then we're gonna open up the floor for anyone who have questions for the phenomenal women on the stage today. What advice would you give your teenage self?
My teenage self, I got the mic still real over here. Just believe in yourself, always. Where I'm at today was not because I planned this. My main goal in life was to be a WNBA player. I got there, achieved my goals. Muggsy Bogues picked me up. I played for Chicago Sky, failed my physical. So I ended up having to play overseas instead of here. So my thing is believe in yourself, because every job that I've had from here on out, I'm an MC, I work for the New York Islanders, I work in hockey, I do MLB, I work for the New York Nets, I work for the WNBA, New York Liberty. So all these things, I never thought that I would be where I am today. My old boss believed in me, and he said, we're hiring you because of your personality. Because I said, for example, in hockey, right? Hockey. I don't know anything about hockey. I'm from the Lower East Side, born and raised. I'm like, hockey. So I worked for the New York Rangers at first in the front office. I did event presentation, and I ran the whole arena. Now I'm the MC on the other side with the New York Islanders, and it's the same boss that hired me, and this was about 15 years ago. Same boss, he believed in me and said, I'm hiring you because of your personality. You'll learn the ice game along the way, the ice guys will teach you, but we are hiring you because of your personality. So please be yourself, be true to yourself, be honest. Be honest. You don't need to lie, you don't need it for the clout, you don't gotta do what you gotta do to put on the front. People will love you if you are yourself, so please, just be yourself, y'all.
For my teenage self, I ain't that far away, y'all. I'm only 26, so it's right there. But y'all teenagers, I know y'all teachers here, but let's really talk about it. I would call myself, sis, you're bugging. You're stressing out, you're doing too much, you're panicking, you're dating too much, you got too many friends around you that's not really a friend, you're not focused, all of that. That's exactly what I would tell myself. And to do something about it, I would just, change my surroundings. Y'all at this age, so I'm really taking it in right now with y'all because y'all literally at the age that we're talking about right now, like your teenage self. Y'all not gonna be this age forever. It's gonna be 10 years from now, and you're gonna look back on this day like, what was I doing back then that I could have did different that could alter where I'm at right now? So I would just, exactly what she said, be yourself. You never want to be known or judged or ridiculed for being someone that's not you. You only want to have to defend the person that's really you. And I will also say, don't get distracted. And when I say distracted, I don't mean by video game, I don't mean by street stuff, I mean by negativity. Negativity will derail your entire life just by having the wrong group of friends. If you're around a girl and she always saying something that's a hater comment, go ahead, she need other friends and so do you. There's nothing wrong with that. When you're dating someone that doesn't make you feel the best every day, because you're supposed to feel your best every day, you're too young to not feel your best every day. So if you're dating someone who's making you not feel your best every day, because yes, you're in high school, which I did, get rid of it. It's a waste of time. You go 3 years in a relationship and be like, no, I did not just do that. So that's what I mean by distractions. Don't allow the negative energy to derail what you got going on. And even if you don't know what you want to be for the rest of your life, even if you don't have it figured out yet, that's okay. It's 30-year-olds who don't have it figured out. It's 40-year-olds who just now got to exactly where they want to be at in life and didn't even know that's where they wanted to be at. So as teenagers right now, just know the ball is in your court. Just know that you can literally go anywhere on earth right now. Y'all got Google. We didn't have that. We didn't have nobody telling us to go get an LLC and go start a business. We didn't know what a tax write-off was. We didn't know what a tax ID number was. We didn't know any of that stuff. I got Google. Go teach yourself something. The one thing nobody can take from you is what you know in your brain. Nobody can take that from you. Nobody can rob that. Nobody. So go teach yourself something. Be smart. Don't get distracted. Be yourself. And keep it pushing, y'all. Be y'all. Be your best selves, please.
So the one thing I would tell my teenage self is, don't quit. Because when you quit, you have to start all over again, right? So be consistent. And whatever it is that you want to do, be consistent. On some days, it's not going to look right. It may not feel right. But be consistent. On some days, people are going to support you, and somebody's not going to support you. But be consistent. Your dream, whatever it is, it wasn't a conference meeting. Your mom didn't get invited. Your dad didn't get invited. Your cousins and your friends didn't get invited. So people are going to look at you oftentimes like you're crazy. But you're crazy until you win. You're crazy until you make it. You're crazy until they asking you, how did you do that? So in consistency and in the work, the dream will come into fruition. So don't quit. Ever.
So for me, it would be, I would tell my teenage self, you're making the right decision in picking a CUNY undergrad. All my friends were going off to these amazing private colleges. They were going to colleges that were very expensive out of New York State. And I was like, wow, I have the grades, but my immigrant parents were not gonna let me go off out of New York State. They were like, no, there's a great education in the CUNY system. This is where you're gonna go. You don't need to go away. And for a while, I was so upset. I wanted to be out, let me retract. Remember the audience. I wanted to be out with my friends, partying on weekends, going to fraternity parties, going to a school that was $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year just to say I have a degree from X, Y, and Z. I went to CUNY College of Staten Island. I went to CUNY School of Law. I don't have any student loan debt. I'm very proud. I'm a New York City kid through and through, and I am very grateful for the education that I had there. And so don't let the name of the school persuade you and think that that is not. You can get a great education at a CUNY.
I would tell my younger self that timing is everything. Just because someone next to you is doing something today doesn't mean you have to do it today. Tomorrow might be your day to do it. Next week might be the time for you. So don't feel, that you're set back or you're not advanced enough or you're not on the same level as the person next to you. It might be their time today, but your time might be tomorrow.
All right. I think our time is almost up. I just wanted to know, do we have time for maybe one or two questions from the students? Do you guys have any questions for our amazing panel? Yes? All right, well, I'm going to let him ask really quick. Hold on. That's the mic,
I have a question for the CEO and the singer. What's your name again? Excuse me.
Vina Love, don't forget it, kid.
Okay, Vina Love. Okay, I would like to say that, me personally, I'm a musician myself. I just wanted to ask, what was the best, what was the easiest way to mainstream your music, get views? Because I have the talent.
Y'all really be laughing my son out. You nice at what you do? Y'all shady. Well, I'll be honest with you. I'll be very, very honest with you. I've been making music for a very long time, and when I started making music, streaming wasn't the biggest thing, views and numbers and stuff. That wasn't really the focus. So I kind of led with that mindset, which may not be the best thing. However, I would say, focus on doing what you really, really like, and who likes it will gravitate towards it. And a lot of times, if you got 20 people in a room and 10 people like it, the other 10 people just won't like it by force. So just do what you do, enjoy what you're doing, and don't focus so much on the views and the likes and yada yada, because some of those people probably don't really like it. They just have to. So don't get wrapped up in the liking process and the viewing process of everything. Just have fun, enjoy what you're doing.
All right, do we have one more question? Anybody? Okay.
You said you had a song that was on the radio here after you quit. What song was that?
It's called Air. So I'll sing for y'all, just like that song. But to answer your question, I wrote a 5-song project for Rihanna, and it took us about. Come on, y'all, I'm really that girl. It's not a joke. We have people music, y'all. So I wrote a 5-song project for Rihanna, and the first song I made was a song called Air. And it was different for her, but it was completely different for me because I didn't write it for myself at all. So those things where you submit your music, Rihanna hasn't put out an album in how long? So those times that you send music out, it may not always stick. A person may not take the song, so you have the option to keep the song for yourself. So that's what I did. I kept the song, and I got my first feature on it, which was Snoop. At the time for Snoop Dogg. At the time for me, that was huge because it's Snoop Dogg, But and I did a video to it, and it was beautiful. It was amazing. The name of the song is called Air, and it changed my life. It literally opened the door for my whole entire career. Now to sing for you guys. Okay, I love you. Shall I stand up?
Stand up, girl. Put on the show.
Since you've been away, boy, and I got no plans. No, 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 no.
some noise for Ballin' for Peace. Such an amazing event. Shout out to H2O. Do you want to say something? No? And my name is Marie David. It was an honor to be here with you guys today. I absolutely love it. This is my third year doing this, and hopefully I'll see you guys again next year. Oh, the name of my brand. Oh. Well, I sell like beverages and stuff. I have a brand called Marie Tasty Licks. But I work for Essence Magazine as a video editor, and I do contract work, I do hosting, I do correspondence stuff. So yeah, I'm about. What's the name of her brand? Whose brand? DJ Rhea? Oh, they want to know about your brand. Go ahead, girl. So y'all can follow me on Instagram. The name is Big Business Sam, and my brand is called Embody Essentials. Share your social media handles. Pull out your cell phones. Oh, you gotta put your phones away. Well, guess what? Wait. Follow Ballin' for Peace, and you'll see everyone's social media handles on Ballin' for Peace. But you guys, give it up for yourselves. Thank you so much.
I just want to thank everybody for coming out. Third annual Ballin' for Peace, celebrating our wins. Thank you, ladies, for coming out and doing that thing. I appreciate you guys. All right, see you guys next year. Ballin' for Peace. Boom.